I just think he'll be like a fun little character people play on the side that go 0-2 in bracket.
Terry is the latest DLC character to be added to Street Fighter 6 and he got the community split. Japan in general, the East, they are very down on Terry. We got sources like Mago, that is a legend. He's a Terry fanboy by the way, saying that he's undoubtedly the worst character in the game. And Japan in general, like I said, they don't think Terry is that hot. And we even got sources from the West, players I higher respect. Like someone like Automatic saying he's the Sean of Street Fighter 6. That is massive. And the guy plays Jamie for God's sake. So for him to say that about Terry, I mean that's rough. Right? And then we got others saying that, well, give it time. It's just like Ed, just like Rashid. One time people will say that Terry is fantastic. Maybe, we will see. I've been playing Terry exclusively since he came out and I've been really going back and forth. I don't have like a specific spot for him on the tier list, but today we're gonna discuss how can a character that have a crouching medium kick drive rush, how can a character that got an invincible anti-air, how is it that a character that got an invincible reversal, he can two-touch characters in this game, how does he got all of this but at the same time is said to be weak by so many. How? Manon, you are our resident low tier. And I know you're gonna say, oh, but Idom, she's low tier. Idom is amazing, she's low tier. We got this. If I say the names Bison and Akuma, Aki and Zangief, Rashid and Ed, these are all amazing characters that in my opinion are undoubtedly better than Terry. What do they all have in common that Terry doesn't? Easy access to big damage. That's pretty much it. That's the video. Okay, let me explain. So when you check out most of the high damaging routes, some of the most damaging Terry things, it is always from three very specific openings. Either Terry gets to jump in, or Terry happens to land the shimmy, or Terry gets to block a DP and then he does a DP punish. These are openings that all of the other characters will get big damage from, and you really need to work hard to get these sort of openings. This is Jamie, for example. Jamie is considered to be one of the weakest characters in the game. Even level 0 rank Jamie can get 5.7k or whatever if he got like a punish counter heavy kick and he got the resources, right? And if he's on level 4, that is almost like 70%. And that is Jamie. Even Kimberly can do a lot of insane damage if she got the right hit. What these characters have are easy ways to get that big damage going. For a character like Bison or Aki, they get to put you in a state where they pretty much now have a win condition. Their next hit is gonna do insane damage, and after they have applied the bomb or poison, the follow-up throw is pretty much guaranteed. Like that's extra damage on top of the combos you have already done. We got others, for example, that can do some amazing damage from easy good whiff punishes. Someone like Ed, Akuma even. And we got Rashid with his level 2 super. All of these characters can pretty much get easy openings, easy high damage from their tools. Now Terry unfortunately does not have that privilege. Now Terry does have good neutral, I think. On paper he got good range on his normals, but unfortunately they are not rewarding. Say for example that Ken here is whiffing that standing heavy kick, right? If he whips that in front of Akuma, bam, standing heavy punch to your face. If you're near the wall, you explode, right? Because that's gonna be an OD adamant flame, you're done. If you whip that in front of Bison, he gets to put the bomb on you and now you have to suffer through his win condition. If you put that in front of Ed, that is easy heavy into flicker and that is a lot of damage. All of these characters are getting whiff punishes that lead to damage. Now Terry can get whiff punishes. He can go for standing medium kick that got good range and speed, and he get Basta Wolf out of that. But that's pretty much it. His crouching medium kick is amazing. It's amazing. It's got amazing range for its speed and his walk speed. But the thing about crouching medium kicks is that they are scaled. Crouching medium kicks are great if you want to carry your opponent to the corner, but they don't by themselves lead to big damage. In this same wave punish scenario, Ryu gets a heavy punch. If we decide to meter dump, he get north of 5.5k damage. That is like 57% or something. If we wanna wave punish into that much damage with Terry, and we start with a crouching medium kick, not optimal combos obviously, but Terry gets at least 1k less damage because he's starting from a crouching medium kick. Crouching medium kicks, great for corner carry. All of the good characters have crouching medium kicks that lead to corner carry, but they don't lead to damage. Now Terry does have a standing heavy kick that is good, that he can get good damage from it, but obviously that is on the slower end. What do you guys think? They're convinced? I hope so. If you like the video but you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Over 70% of my viewers aren't, so you get to see more of me and my friends, the EX-Men. And yes, like in my canon, Magneto is I recruited him. Excuse the silliness and enjoy the rest of your video. I feel like I'm about to get flamed for this. I mean, Chun-Li, stand with me, right? We're gonna do this together. In many ways, disclaimer, this is not a one-to-one. I'm not saying it's the exact same situation. In many ways, Terry does remind me of Kage from Street Fighter V. And I know what you're about to say. What? I know what you're about to say, right? It's not a one-to-one. But Kage also was a character that had stupidly high damage potential, but he struggled to get the big damage going. He struggled to get the hit. Kage was stubby, Kage was a low HP character, he wasn't really unfair the way that Akuma and some of the other characters were, but he was able to get big damage if he gets a hit. Terry is kind of like that anyway. Now there are other characters that don't have that easy access to big damage, like for example Ryu. But they're faring a lot better than Terry, and that leads me to Terry's second and one of his main issues as well, is that his pressure game, it is abnormally fair for Street Fighter 6 standards. Let's say for example that we got the opponent to the corner. Terry does have a throw loop where he can dash or he can even walk forward, but his throw is punishable if the opponent happens to backdash. Even if you're going for the walk method, still unsafe if they backdashed. Terry doesn't really have that easy of a way of applying the shimmy in this very specific situation. It's not easy to shimmy people with Terry's throw loop in the same way that it is with Ryu, because with Ryu you're already there, you just get to back walk. It's a lot easier to establish the shimmy here, and obviously Ryu got a medium that will link into a heavy on a punish counter, so he can get a lot of damage, and if he got Denjin buff, you're done. So his throw loop situation and that throw shimmy situation doesn't happen that easily. The best way for Terry, the dream scenario for Terry to get into the easy shimmy potential situation, is if he happen to do a combo, end it with a medium burn knuckle with the standing medium kick. That is a frame kill everyone is doing, because that puts Terry in the situation. But if you throw them once, it's over, and that's why 99% of the time you will see Terry trying to shimmy in this position, because big boy want his big damage. That's pretty much it. And unfortunately, in many other situations, his pressure, like I said, is also surprisingly fair. In this game, most of the times, if you go for 3 lights on block, your opponent will be able to tag you with a medium. I mean, that's pretty much the standard. However, some characters can cancel into special moves for frame trap purposes, makes them respect you after blocking a 3 light attacks. I'm talking moves like Hashogeki, I'm talking about moves like Jinrai. There's a lot of moves, even Fireball cancels most of the time. Unfortunately, Terry doesn't really have the ability to cancel into Fireballs, because most of the time the opponent will just counter hit him if he tries to do that. However, Terry does have a move, Quick Burn, that is his double hitting quarter circle back light punch. But unfortunately, as we say in Egyptian or in Arabic, this move is one big khazoot, because this move stinks. Like, the second hit is an overhead, and if they try to jab, you will get them, right? And it's +4, so it's possible for him to combo after. Amazing, right? However, this move is -5 on block, and it moves Terry surprisingly a lot forward, so you will always get punished if they happen to block this. However, the issue is, if they didn't press, the first attack will whiff. So this means that if the opponent didn't go for a jab and instead went for a slower move, like a heavy punch or a heavy kick or whatever, they are gonna attack you between the hits of the special, and you're gonna get punished counter hits. So not only does this move sucks in the fact that you're always unsafe and it actually doesn't lead to that much on hit, it also got a big gap on it that if they know the matchup, they can exploit that, right? A move like Hashogeki doesn't have this issue. Ryu is always gonna get the counter hit launcher and go for damage. Jinrai, you need a PhD in Jinrai to know what you're supposed to do there. And even Ryu can just go Hadouken and that will frame trap. Terry doesn't have that luxury, right? You do have to use the OD quick burn just to make yourself safe and just to cover this issue. So having to use an OD move just to make them respect you after a 3 jab, that's kinda insane. Any game where, like I said, even the characters that are not amazing like Ryu got this, Terry doesn't. And that is pretty much the theme with Terry, like he got all of the tools, but there is always like an extra layer of complexity, there is like the extra hassle with him. There is a throw loop, but the throw situation, because you are more unsafe and the nature of it, it is harder for you to set up these big chimmy situations. Yes, you can get away with punish, his standing heavy kick and medium kicks are really good. Medium kick doesn't lead to that much, heavy kick is good but on the slower end, so you have to react faster and it is just harder to punish with this type of move. Yes, his light sequence can do to a lot of damage, but it is hard to set up and there is an inherent mix, like I said, because if they press the slower normal or just blocked, you are done. But maybe you can convince him to do that, so then you can get away with fireballs, while other characters can just throw out their special cancels without having to worry that much. So I know I've been sounding a lot negative on Terry, and I actually had an entire segment on the passing sway, that is like his lane switching, but Broski did like an entire video covering pretty much everything I wanted to say. Like, check it out, it's an amazing video. He pretty much covered everything I wanted to say. So Terry is a character that's functional, right? Like, you can play him, you can throw loop the opponent, you can get into the corner, you can do all of that. He does have the medium punch burn knuckle, which is pretty good, can get him to plus frames, but it's like he have to work harder than most of the other characters in the roster. And I know that there is the Ed and the Rashid comparison, but Ed and Rashid are unorthodox characters. Even Aki, they are unorthodox, they are not straightforward. Terry is more of an Akuma, a character that is straightforward but got a lot of tools, than a Rashid or an Ed, in my opinion. I don't think Terry will have like this amazing tech that will catapult him into top tier. At best, we're looking at a mid-tier situation. At best, I think Terry is gonna be like a mid-tier. So I don't think he's okay. He's hella fun. That's what matters the most. But I think Japan might be right on this one. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment, it helps the channel so much. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter and Twitch pages in the description. Google Kazoo because it's kind of hilarious. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.